Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, the prophets, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, Sealed with the Lord's Protection. Sealed with the Lord's Protection. Call halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, call halal, Yamla, Allahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And something that's on my spirit, and as the title reads, Sealed with the Lord's protection. You know, that spiritual mark, the Lord's divine protection, because we're entering Jacob's trouble. See, the worst time ever on earth. We're entering the eye of the storm, and we see all the latest things that are popping up in the headlines. You know, we see Donald Trump has deployed 800 military soldiers, the National Guard, and federalized and took over down there in Washington, D.C. His whole, Trump's big thing on cracking down on crime. See? Crime. All the wickedness. This is ultimately the Lord who's doing this. See? The Lord said he will not know one wicked person. And you don't have to be in the streets to be doing wickedness. You don't got to be a gangbanger. You don't got to be selling dope. You don't got to be stealing and robbing to be doing wickedness. You don't have to be in the streets to be doing wickedness. See, you got a lot of people that they're very successful, and they got good jobs, and they're successful in the world, but behind closed doors they're doing wicked. They're doing wicked. And the Lord sees all of that. See? What we see in the latest headlines, though, but, Trump is getting ready to shut this down. And this is ultimately the Lord who's doing this. We see also the ICE. ICE is the highest paid federal law enforcement agency. Right now, ICE is the highest paid law enforcement agency. They're going into overdrive. We see Trump is pretty much up the ICE bill to over 100 billion. You know, if you join the ICE team, you're getting a $65,000 signing bonus right now. See, this is all a part of the new agenda, of the global elites, the Rothschilds, the ones the banking families, the ones that are in full control. See? This is about to be a complete police state coming to a city near you. You see? And it's finna get to a point where they're just gonna start these special task force, this new special police. They're gonna start going to door, and matter of fact, let me go here, because they coming after you colored folks, man. This is who. See, they know who you are. But a good majority of our people, they don't know who they are. A lot of them think they know who they are, but they don't know. The Lord is coming to set the record straight. Let me go to 1 Peter. See, Trump has the money, him and his technocrats, his whole cabinet. He has technocrats in his cabinet. They have the money. They're forming their own military, side military. And this is about to completely spiral out of control. Because, democracy is completely under attack, and your constitutional rights are about to be thrown in the garbage. See? Let me go to First Peter. Your constitutional rights are about to be thrown in the trash. See? Don't matter what race you are. But it's ultimately for you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. 1 Peter. See? Everybody's so comfortable. Everybody's so just comfortable. They got it good. They don't have nothing to worry about. Wait till you get a load of this. Wait till you get a load of this. 1 Peter. First Peter 4 and 17. 1 Peter 4 and 17, and it reads, says, for the time is come that judgment, see, the time is come for judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. See, judgment is going to start at the Lord's sanctuary with his people. See? See? He told you, enemy gonna come in like a flood. I'll read it again. For the time, 1 Peter 4 and 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. And we know who are the Lord's people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's Israel. It's a people before a place. See? But, a lot of our people, they don't agree with that. They want to do things their own way. The Lord told you, those that believe in their own heart, you're a fool. You don't want to listen to me, you're a dummy. You're a fool. See? And it's all about the smoke is all about to be cleared up because it's unfolding. It says, and if it begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel? See? What shall the end be for those that don't seek the Lord? What do you think that's going to be? It says 18, it says, and if the righteous scarcely, And if the righteous scarcely be saved, because the elect, the chosen, the remnant of the Lord, out of the Lord's people, this is who's going to be protected and delivered. But we all know, like it says, the elect out of the Lord's people, the chosen, they're going to scarcely be saved. See? Lord willing, I'm part of the hopeful elect, that remnant, that chosen. Because you're going to have to go through it. The Lord told you, through much tribulation, we must enter into the kingdom. There's no other way around this. But to those that don't obey the gospel, you are fucked, man. You're fucked. Excuse my language. Because we have a lot of our people, they're so, they're so caught up on what the possessions, the materialistic things that they have. And then, as this trouble increases, the more dangerous it gets, people are going to resort back to weapons. That's what's going to happen. They're going to resort back. They're going to go to the guns. They're going to go to knives. They're going to resort back to being physical. And we know the true servants of the Lord, our weapons are not physical. They're spiritual. Our help comes from heaven. This is spiritual. That's why the title is the seal of the Lord's protection. See? But the Lord said the righteous is the elect is scarcely going to make it out of this. But to those that don't obey the gospel, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble, because this judgment that's coming is unspeakable. You've never seen this type of judgment. Let me go here. Why? Let me go here. Ezekiel. The Lord is about to let this damn cracker, this damn white man, lose his mind out here. And you tribes, they're you're gonna learn, man. This is why it's called Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is ultimately for Jacob. 2/3 of the Lord's people. We got a lot of our people that they don't believe, they don't care. They're arrogant. They just want to do what they want to do. They love this place, the U.S. They love it. This place is about to be turned into a damn zoo, a damn jungle, a concrete jungle on a level that we have never seen. Ezekiel. See? Ezekiel 21 and 9. The Lord he got you in a trick bag if you don't have the oil. Because you're about to be pressed into a corner. You're about to be pressed into a corner. The Lord told you, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Because at the end of the day, that mark, we're going away from physical cash. The days of physical cash are coming to an end. We're going to the digital dollar, digital money. It's not going to be no more American dollar bill. It ain't going to be that. The days of that going on are coming to an end. We're headed towards the mark, the MARK, the RFID, the micro C-HIP. This is what is about to be the line drawn in the sand, because you have many of our people. They want to hold on to what they have. They trust and believe in the American democracy, and they think there's a better way. But when it comes to the Lord and wanting to be delivered, they're not focused on that, and they don't believe it. A lot of them just don't believe it. They're not interested in that. See? So this is why the Lord has a remnant. He has a elect, a chosen. See? That he's coming back to deliver out of his people. Let me go here. Ezekiel 21 and 8. Ezekiel 21 and 8. And it reads, it says, again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahawah. It says, say a sword. See? And this is what the Lord is bringing. A sword. A sword is sharpened and also furbished. The Lord said he's going to send the sword after these people. All the wicked gonna get it. And see, you have a lot of our people too. They think because they have a good job, and you know they have a good home, and they're successful in the world, that they're doing good. That's one part. But ultimately, you need to be calling on the Lord, because the Lord told you, those that don't seek the Lord God of Israel, the God of Israel, who's a Hebrew Israelite. See? If you're not seeking Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, the name, it tells you our help is in the name. They're calling on all these other names, and it's not working. It's not working. See? It says a sword is furbished. See? It says 10. It says it is furbished to make a sore slaughter. It's finna be death everywhere, man. See? Famine, pestilence, war. This is what's on the rise. This is what's coming on a level that the world has never, ever seen before. The Lord told you he's coming like a thief in the night. You have a lot of our people, they don't have a clue on what's coming. They hear and see stuff, but they don't believe that. But this thing, the Lord is about to, time is up. Time is up. It says, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. See? And we know the modern, ancient weapon, the sword, is the actual sword. But we know today in this latter end is the gun. That's the new modern day sword. It says, should we then make mirth? See, because the Lord told you the heart of the wise is in the house of mirth. I mean, Salakia, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. But the heart, roughly paraphrasing it, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Because this is what it is out here, especially out here in the U.S. It's all about partying. Party. It's okay to have a good time, but this is a 24/7 thing. Get drunk, party all day long. It's just like it tells you in Scripture. Men love pleasure rather than the Lord. There's no balance to things. And this is where society and people have gone completely wrong, man. They're out of balance. A false balance is an abomination unto the Lord. People do everything else but come back to the Lord. But they're finna find out they were sadly mistaken. They've been tricked by the devil, by the so-called white folks. It says, who is in rulership, who dictate policy in Congress. It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. It says 11, it says, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. See? That it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hands of the slayer. See? Into the hands of the slayer. So the Lord, we know Esau, Edom, the so-called white folks, they represent the left hand of the Lord. And the Lord's going to use Esau, Edom, which he's been doing, to bring holy hell on 2/3 of his own people and on down to the other nations. Even in Esau, the so-called white folks, everybody going to get caught up into this. Everybody. But the Lord has special protection for his remnant, for the chosen out of his people. Everybody else, they're going to get it. They finna get caught up into this judgment. See? They're going to get caught up into this judgment. And there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run. They're mobilizing the military out here, and they're gonna push you into a corner. Ultimately, when they make this RFID, when they make that mandatory, when they make that mark mandatory, a police state under heavy surveillance. See? Let me go here. Or 12. Ezekiel 21 and 12. It says, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. See? For it shall be upon my people. It says, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Israel is a people before a place. It says, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. That's why they're Esau, the so-called white folks, they're opening up these detention centers, these internment camps, and they getting ready to send you color folks ultimately in there. See? Judgment. A lot of our people, they don't agree and they don't think this, but they're finna find out. There's nowhere to run to. You can stay in your home. You can go to travel all you want. You're about to get met with the sword. And you're going to have that protection. See, they're putting some putting their protection in their weapons. Some putting their protection in their money. Some putting their protection in all these different Jesus the Christ, Yeshua, Allah, all these false names. And the Lord gonna give you over into those names, and we're gonna see if it works. See? We're gonna see if it works. Right now, everybody else is calling on everything else, and look at this. See? Look at it. It's not working. Let me go here. They're calling on everything else, and you're just being more and more oppressed. And the true men of the Lord out of the Lord's people are warning you over and over and over, repeatedly. Let me go here, Ezekiel 9. I'll close out with this. Ezekiel 9. See? Protection. Sealed with the Lord's protection. The Lord has a remnant, an elect, starting with the 144,000. 12,000 out of each tribe, like it tell you in Revelation. See? This is who that's going to have the seal, that spiritual mark of protection of the Lord. Because you're going to have to have a higher power protection to make it out of this. Esau is taking off the gloves and he's bringing out all his weapons. This godlike technology, man. You're not going to be able to deliver yourself out of this. See? You're gonna be overwhelmed. Don't matter how much training, how many times you go to the gun range, how many people you know, you cannot make it out of this. It's too much violence coming. And ultimately, we know those ICBM missiles, those intercontinental ballistic missiles are coming. See? And they're going to hit this place, the U.S. This is the last days of this place. Ezekiel 9 and 4. Ezekiel 9 and 4. And it reads, it says, and the Lord Yahawah said, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Israel is a people before a place. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that's Jerusalem. That's Israel. Those people over there, that's not them. They're not the real Lord's people. And it's being revealed. It's being revealed because they're being bombed. It's terror. The children got to go underground bunkers in that place right now. That's not going to happen when the Lord restores his people. And he's going to be present in that place, Jerusalem, in the kingdom, right here on earth. The Savior, the Deliverer. So we know those are not the people. You've been lied. You've been tricked. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark, that spiritual mark, that seal of protection. This is the elect. It says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry. The men that sigh and that cry, and we know who's out here sighing and crying. We see the real men of the Lord, out of the Lord's people. The Hebrew Israelites out here sighing and crying for what? What are we sighing and crying for? For all the abominations, all the filth. Sighing and crying daily for the Lord to bring justice, righteousness. It's just none but wickedness out here. Wickedness. That's what's going on. And the real men of the Lord want justice. And we know those people that are in leadership right now, they're not bringing justice. It's full of lies and deception and corruption. On down to the average citizen, a lot of them. Sighing and crying for the abominations that are going on. The Hebrew Israelites, starting with the apostles on down that great millstone. This is who's sighing and crying day and night for the Lord to bring justice, righteousness on earth. The Lord said he's not going to know one wicked person, man. If you're not seeking him, he's going to eliminate you in this time coming. It says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. It's so much corruption and filth that's going on in this world. The Lord he's coming to set the record straight. Righteousness, justice. It says 5. It says, and to the others he said, because he's sending his death angels out, man. He's sending these death angels out. The Lord has innumerable amount of angels, and he's sending them out. It says, and to the others he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Smite means to kill. It says, let not your eyes spare, neither ye have pity. It says 6. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. You see? So that spiritual mark. See? This is the Lord's remnant, his chosen, his elect. That's why the Lord said, many are called, but few are chosen. Everybody ain't going to make it out of this. Because this unspeakable evil and violence coming that the world has never seen. Evil coming. And you're going to need the Lord's protection to make it out of this. There's no other way. And this is the Lord who's doing this. So, they're bringing in this military. There's World War III on the table. You have that RFID, that mark. We're moving away from the digital cash. We have famine of hearing the words of the Lord. Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation. This is what we're entering. There ain't no turning back. The Lord said all these things must come to pass. All these things must come to pass. See? And so, they're getting ready to shut down this internet, man. They're getting ready to shut this down. And they're going to start Trump's, him and his special police force, they're going to start running up in people's homes and removing you forcefully. And if you try to rise up against them, they're going to blow your brains out. Shalom.